to the Tide Pod, hosted by your friendly neighborhood PhD. Oh, hi everyone, it's another episode of the Tide Pod, and today I'm joined by Sara Bastiaensen, who is an advocate for early onset Parkinson's. And I thought we'd have a little bit of back and forth conversation about your experience with that, and then go from there and have a
Yeah,
conversation. So thanks so much for joining me.
sounds good. You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. Just starting out, I thought if you would like to give just a brief overview of your journey and kind of where
Um,
you're at right
yeah,
now.
sure. My journey with being chronically ill obviously started like 3 years ago, almost 3 years. So then I discovered that I had a young onset Parkinson's disease, which was a total shock for me. And I'm just now trying to navigate through life with it. It's been tough, but it's been also in a weird way very good to have met so many amazing people through my journey already. So yeah, ups and
Yeah,
downs, I guess.
right, right. Just yeah, day to day dealing with everything, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
struggles, small
yeah,
victories, but big struggles too. So yeah, I'm
yeah. Have
sure
you
you.
found the little things mean more to you over time as
Yeah,
you're
they
dealing with
do.
it?
They are more meaningful. Everything that you once didn't think about doing, like just walking normally, is
Hmm.
a big thing for me. I always look at people who I think are healthy people, but they could have something too. You never know. But I just get like jealous when I look at them. And
Hmm.
I think I shouldn't have taken my health for granted. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
just, you never know what's going to happen to you, right? And it's a good thing we
right.
don't know, but I wish I would have
That's true.
enjoyed it more.
That's true. That's one of those things like you never know what life would be like if you knew exactly when it
Yeah,
was coming, or
yeah.
when something was going to happen. But you're
No,
right. I think,
it's a good thing, but
yeah.
it's you think it a lot when you get ill, I think.
Hmm.
There's no turning back now, so yeah, just live
Right,
with
right. You
it.
have to just kind of adapt to it and deal
Yeah,
with kind of the
just
reality of it.
make the
Yeah.
best of it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, before we get kind of too much further, I like to kind of start off with maybe kind of a way that you escape from reality, something fun or like a hobby or activity that you just really like to
Yeah,
do.
I go to the gym a lot. It's when my body is fully functional on medication, that is.
Mhm.
But I enjoy it a lot. It just makes me feel strong again, and just I don't know, it makes me like zone out the rest and
Mhm.
just go for a walk whenever my legs are working normally.
Yeah.
And then I enjoy that a lot. I just love walking. I never
Like
loved
getting
walking like I
outside and
love it now, and now I sometimes can't walk. So yeah, I
yeah.
think I take more, I don't know, joy of things that I didn't do earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you when you were working out like before your diagnosis and everything, like were those things kind of important to you then or not as much as they are now?
It was. I was already like working out a lot, but um, now I just have more purpose doing it because it slows down our progression. So I just really want to go for it, and it feels good. I don't know. It makes me feel good. Yeah, to do it, and
Yeah.
I can turn the world off and just focus on my
Yeah, just think
exercises
about that.
and
Do you
just
listen
be.
to music or anything or do
Yeah,
you
yeah, I do.
yeah. Yeah.
But it can be like a wide range of music. It can be like piano music, country songs, hip
Yeah.
hop, all sorts
Yeah.
of hardcore metal. Yeah, all kinds of things. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there one that you kind of prefer when you're working out or does it just depend on the day?
It depends on the mood, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm sad, I'm like listening to like more of the hardcore rock things. Um, as to when I'm like overstimulated, I like to put on the piano music to calm myself down.
Hmm.
It just depends. I really I listen to everything.
Very diverse. Yeah.
Yeah, very diverse. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same way. It's funny how you're
Yeah.
just day
Yeah.
to day, you feel like
Yeah.
just like
You
some
wake up and you
hardcore
feel that
metal and
you put
yeah.
song on that you want to hear because you're in that mood right now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. But I
Who would you
like
say are
country
like your
songs a lot too.
top three artists like that you listen
Um,
to?
that's a hard question. There's
Yeah.
so many. I don't know. I like to listen to Post Malone.
Yeah.
And then one of the hardcore rock bands that I listen to a lot is I Prevail.
Hmm.
And um,
How about like
just here.
like local to your country or your area, like who
Oh no,
was
I don't really listen to locals.
yeah, yeah,
But no, during my workouts, it's all worldwide. Worldwide, it's hip hop is more diverse. I don't really have a favorite artist
yeah,
in that direction. I mean, Drake, I listen a lot to Drake. Yeah.
yeah, nice. Did
Yeah.
what about like Kendrick Lamar, anybody like that?
Yeah, him
Yeah.
too, but I know they have beef, but
No, I was gonna say it. Yeah,
yeah, that
yeah,
too. Yeah, and then like from before the music when I was young, I mean younger,
yeah.
play
Well,
that a lot
you're
too.
what about 30, like mid 30s, right? For
36, yeah, I'm 36
okay.
now. Yeah.
That's same here. So
Really?
we're
Nice.
staring at 40 pretty soon, I guess.
Yeah. So we're
Yeah.
millennials, right?
Yeah, yeah. So you probably like all the 90s like
Yeah, so
music
I
from
play
then.
like Yin Yang Twins and then I play
Yeah.
Missy Elliott,
Yeah. All the old school
all
kid stuff.
all the good stuff. Yeah, they don't make him like that anymore.
No, they don't. They don't. And I
Yeah.
still listen to, did you get into any of like the grunge rock music like I don't know, like Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, anybody like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I do. I love it. Oh God, yes.
Yeah, yeah. I still go
I
back to
do.
those two and listen a lot.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
great. Yeah. And Breaking
Yeah.
Benjamin is also one of my
Yes.
favorites. Yeah.
That's right. I my brother-in-law is a big fan of them too. So yeah,
Yeah.
that
He sings so his voice is just something else.
yeah. Yeah, like I like a lot that style of music too, but yeah,
Yeah.
but no, I wanted to kind of go into that, area and kind of get into that before we do, any other
Yeah.
questions. So
Yeah.
that's fun to think about.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I'd like to just know a little bit about like when you first noticed your symptoms or kind of what you thought when it first started. Um,
Yeah, that's actually a funny story because it started with my hand, like in my left hand, the tremor. Um, I noticed it at work, like when I was going through papers, then I hold the paper and it would start to shake.
Mhm.
But in my eyes, it was always just stress because I had like a stressful job at that time. And then when I was
What was your
eating,
job at the time?
I was working at a glass factory. I don't know how to say it in English,
Oh, okay,
but
yeah.
we made like we did like glass doors and all kind of glass interiors. And
Hmm.
I took on a lot on that in that function. Like I did two jobs in one and was kind of stressful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just really blamed it on that. But apparently it wasn't
Hmm.
that. So when
Hmm.
I was eating, like my knife or fork would start to shake, and I just remember my mom saying or making a comment like, "You gotta get that checked out because that's not normal." But it was just a tremor in my hand. I mean, who cares, right?
Right.
Um, because I had it at the gym too, and I know when you're exercising like really heavy, you shake sometimes. It's just normal.
Right.
But then a few months later, I had like no arm swing on my left side when I was
Hmm.
walking. Like, you know how your arm automatically
They
swings a
just
little bit?
automatically swing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just not there anymore. So it felt weird to walk. And then a few months later after that, my left leg kind of, I didn't know how to walk anymore. It was like I couldn't raise my foot. Like
Yeah.
I was dragging my left leg along with my right leg. And then I thought, yeah, this is not normal. It's all on the left side. Must be something in my brain, maybe,
Hmm.
or a pinched nerve, because that was my first idea.
Uh-huh.
So then the doctor did an MRI and he said it came back normal, but he was still kind of worried. He was a really good doctor because he really wanted to get to the bottom of it. He was not gaslighting me at all, not at all.
Well,
And then
that's a rare thing to be
yeah, that's a
playing.
very rare thing, and I appreciate it so much because otherwise maybe I would still not have know what's wrong with me now. So then he forwarded me to a neurologist, and then they did say it were symptoms of Parkinson's disease, but I was like, yeah, I don't really have that in my family.
Yeah.
That's for old people, right? I didn't know about it at all. And
Right.
then they did like the DAT scan, which is the scan they do to determine if your dopamine level has dropped.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the scan a week later showed that it was like abnormally low. And she confirmed that I did have Parkinson's disease, yeah,
Hmm.
which was
Were there
total shock
other?
for me.
Yeah, I can't imagine, getting that
Yeah,
diagnosis early. And I mean, I know that some people are aware of early onset, but it's still
yeah.
relatively rare, isn't it?
It's super rare, yeah.
Yeah.
And people don't know about it because I mean if you Google Parkinson's disease, you always see like the old man with the crippled back and
Right.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
not,
yeah, I remember,
it frustrates me a lot, but we're working on that.
right, right. No, I think
Yeah.
that's, good to realize there are so many,
Yeah.
things out there that you can be
And I know
diagnosed with
I
at
am
any
like a
age.
rare case in Belgium because I live in a very small country. There are not many people this young with Parkinson's disease here.
Uh-huh.
So social media kind of really helped me a lot to, I don't know, just not accept because don't think it's the right word, but
Mhm.
I found a lot of comfort in meeting all of the people along my
There's a
path
great
or
community,
just,
it seems like.
yeah,
Yeah.
so great. It's been amazing having them. I would not know what I would have done without them, really. It's just,
Yeah.
I mean, people around you support you and they love you and but it's not really the same when they're not experiencing it. And I don't really want to complain all the time or say what I'm feeling.
Right.
And those people just know. They just know. And you
Yeah, I
can
mean, like
share
there's
your
nothing like it.
experiences, share your problems, your sadness, your happiness about small victories, which is like
Right.
a good walk or a good workout
Yeah.
or just being able to get out of bed like smooth. Yeah.
Again, it goes back to those little activities, right?
Yeah,
And
it does.
unless
Yeah.
you fully experience it day to day, I mean, you can have
You,
people see
yeah,
it and everything,
but
but
you can't let them feel it. You can't put them in your
right,
shoes, right?
right,
I wish
yeah.
I could sometimes. It would
I
be
know.
so much easier.
I've been telling some people here and there that it'd be nice if someone could just follow you around for a day and kind of just see,
Yeah.
like
Or just
what you have to deal
feel what
with
you're feeling, not be in your shoes, but feel what you're feeling, and then
just for a
just
few minutes even.
live with that 24/7. It's just way harder than people think. I know
Yeah.
they mean well, but it's just, yeah, they,
Yeah.
yeah. But how could they know? I mean, I don't blame them.
Right, right. Yeah, I agree. And I remember, when I was growing up with some of my symptoms with muscular dystrophy, it was like that gradual thing, losing that physical function, and you just
Yeah,
can't, I mean, you can't
yeah.
really even describe it
Yeah, I was
because most
actually
people don't
doing research
know.
today because I knew I was having the chat with you.
Yeah.
And it sounds horrifying to experience this.
Yeah, I mean, there's, so many things you go through over the years, just different stages as it
Yeah.
progresses, and you
And you
kind of
feel your body slowly fade.
losing, yeah,
Yeah.
that muscle function, and you try to do
Yeah.
things, you try to, take steroids or do other things to try to maintain the
Yeah.
function, and then that's creates a whole nother list of symptoms with that too,
Yeah.
so
And side
it's,
effects. Yeah.
yeah, reinventing, myself
Yeah.
over and over is what it kind of
Yeah. So are they
feels
doing like
like.
a lot of research on your
Th-
disease or?
They are, but that's one of the hard things I think about. Well, and Parkinson's too. It's like all of these things. There's small
Yeah.
gains, like people understand a little bit more, as they do research,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
there's no full cure or treatment that really
No.
has helped, with mine.
Terrible.
Yeah, and I actually had done research. I was a researcher at a university here, and I was studying Alzheimer's and some related things and looking
Yeah.
at some of the proteins and the way they misbehave with
Mm.
different diseases. But you quickly realize that the more we know, the less we know, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
it's so
It's like so,
complicated.
it goes so wide. Like Parkinson's,
Yeah.
they relate it now to your gut.
Oh, do they really? I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
either, but apparently, yeah.
Yeah. Well, have you found any treatments or anything that have helped with Parkinson's to this point?
Not really. I mean, the medication I'm on now, it does work. I mean, I function at times
Hmm.
fully. I mean, I'm not in that bad of a stage where I can't be independent or anything, but
Hmm.
I know it's coming, right? It's progressing. So,
Right.
but the medication, yeah, like always works like a few hours and then it wears off. And if I take more, I get like dyskinesia and it's just annoying. It's exhausting really, just to always let it. I was crying the other day a bit in the gym. I was going on a treadmill, but it wasn't working. My left leg was just not having it. And I was just getting so frustrated that I was almost crying and I was thinking, why is this shitty disease just dictating my life? It's like dictating when or what I can do. And it just got me a bit angry. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
grateful for everything I have in my life, but
But
it
I mean,
just
it's normal to
sometimes it
have
just sucks.
those.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know that there's some days you wake up and you try to do something and it just randomly
Yeah.
doesn't work, and
Yeah, or
it's
you're just burnt down, you're just burnt out.
absolutely.
Yeah, just from every day waking up the same shit every day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just just never goes away, right? You just
No,
can't.
it doesn't. And then it scares me a little bit. I mean, I get like not anxiety maybe, but like I panic, I freak out a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's
Yeah,
always
you know what's
thinking
coming
down the
and
road
no
like you
one can
don't.
stop it. Like there's
Yeah,
nothing to
but you don't
stop
know
it
when
or
either, right? Like
no, right. It's the uncertainty. Yeah, it
yeah.
kills you slowly, right?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's really hard to deal with or accept. Even
Yeah,
after you've
and
lived
it's
with it for years, it's still
yeah,
not
and it's
easy.
only my third year, so sometimes I do get messages like, "Oh, I've been living with it for 10 years and I'm fine." So it just comforts me to know that it
Right.
could be that, but it also scares me because I think
I
I
know.
progressed very fast in 3 years' time. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember growing up as a kid, I would like look online, I would try to research it, and so much what I found was like, well, you're not going to make it past 20 or your 20s, and then
really,
gradually I
huh?
realized I was like, well, wait, there's some people that are 30 and
Yeah.
40,
So
so it's not.
you had it when you were kids? They discovered
Yeah,
it,
yeah. I
or
was like 7 or 8. I showed very early symptoms. I could walk, and still run and do
yeah.
normal, well, normal physical
You
activity.
must
But
you must be terrified at having to hear that as a kid. My God.
it's interesting. When you grow up with it, you kind of learn to accept it sooner, and maybe you don't even think about it so much. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're young
Yeah,
and
kids
playing,
think
and
differently. That's true. Yeah. They
yeah.
think, yeah.
And of course, you
Yeah.
get it. I mean, it hurts when people were like, "What's wrong with your legs?" or "Why can't you walk?" You get all
Yeah,
those
or
stigma
when they stare.
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You probably have some experience with that too, on just like
Yeah,
people not
I do.
understanding.
Yeah. It's not
Yeah,
written on my forehead or anything, so I just like people to know so they know why I'm like walking weird
exactly.
or awkward or yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think about like that whole stigma with like society and everything? I know that well, like Parkinson's, people have assumptions, right? Of like it's only affects certain people, or like
Yeah.
I mean, like what
Old
is that?
men and not women and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Do you find
I
that some
wanna put
people
an
are
end to it.
accepting? Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, and I'm not saying everyone does this, but they underestimate being ill like this a lot
Yeah.
because I can hide it like very good sometimes,
Hmm.
sometimes very poorly, of course, but I don't know, it just takes everything out of me to hide it, which I
Hmm.
don't have to, I know, but you automatically do, I think.
It's kind of a human nature thing, I think, to
Yeah,
try
it's
to,
like
yeah,
instinct to try to act normal and just
yeah,
engage. And I just I zone out a lot. I can't engage in like long conversations because I'm just so focused on my posture and how I'm feeling and I'm hiding my pain, masking the pain, and
yeah.
I'm just so uncomfortable all of the times. It's hard to hide it. It's
And
exhausting
you
to
try to
hide it.
downplay everything, like I
Yeah, but it's
definitely
fine.
relate.
I'm fine. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And really internally, you're just like,
But that's just because you don't want to be like the complainer or a burden.
exactly. Burdens,
Yeah.
that's such a
But
buzzword
that
with it. Yeah.
results into people thinking that you are really okay and you are just,
Right.
it's not that bad, right?
Right. Right. And then, mentally, I think that makes it way harder for us too,
Makes it way
because
harder. Yeah, that's the
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah, it takes so much energy, I think, to try to,
Yeah.
to appear
That's, yeah, that's
like,
why I said it's like, it would be easy to just put someone in your shoes for like a day or two.
yeah.
So they would just know, okay, oh my God, this is really fucking hard to live with.
Hmm. It
Yeah.
is. Yeah, it really is.
But
Have
yeah,
you,
I,
since you've been in social media, like I know you've done a few other podcasts and everything, do you think people are becoming a little more accepting of it at all, or do you think it's still just not something?
yeah, I think like friends of mine or coworkers, they listened to it and they were sending me really nice messages. Like they were completely shocked that I would go through that every day. They just had no idea because I never really talk about it.
Mhm.
And so it's kind of uplifting to know they are listening and to have that, have them acknowledge that it is really a struggle.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that public acknowledgement at least, is
Yeah.
is
So
good. But
when I leave
then
like work earlier, I don't have to feel bad about it because they know.
they're aware of what's
why they're
going
aware of
on.
what's going
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
That has to change things a little bit at least, just so,
Yeah.
I mean, remove some of the
Yeah.
judgment, I think.
Yeah, that's specifically at the judgment,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are you still trying to work, or did you do a different type of job now, or what's that like for you?
I started this job in 2021, and I got diagnosed in 2022. So I was already working at this job, and I'm
Hmm.
still doing it, but I'm doing it 30 hours instead of 38 a week.
Hmm.
So I get 1 day or 2 half days where I'm free, and then I can start later or leave earlier depending on how I'm feeling a bit.
Hmm.
So that's nice. Like they're really flexible with it,
So the
which I
employers
appreciate.
are
And
they're
I
willing
really
to
need
adapt.
because, yeah, stress
Yeah.
makes my symptoms way worse. So if I have to
Yeah.
rush in the morning or when I'm just in pain in the evening, then I just can go home and they don't mind.
Yeah. That's so great when you can find somebody
Yeah.
that,
But
that's
on
an
the other side,
employer.
I don't want to have like special treatment.
True.
So
Right.
I just don't want to feel guilty towards the other coworkers. But that's just
Right.
my character, I think.
Well, I think that's also a natural thing to be thinking about, it's like
Yeah, yeah.
you have that drive to sort of match the standard that everybody else has,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
when you can't do that, you're harder on yourself because of it, I feel like
yeah.
too.
It's mentally a battle, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And then you're like, well, look how productive I could be if I didn't have to worry or think or deal with these
yeah. Or depend
symptoms.
on
So
medication all the time.
that too. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, it's a battle.
it's a battle. Yeah,
I was kind of curious too, like the whole mental health side. I know that working out probably has mental and physical things that help, but are
yeah,
there other areas that sort of, let you have more holistic, like emotional health and things like that?
yeah. I think my walks do a lot of that. When I
Yeah.
put on music or just I draw sometimes. I do
Oh,
drawings.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, just to.
Is drawing something you did as a kid, or is it something you picked up?
Yeah, I did. I always was drawing a lot. I like it. It's just focus on one thing and
Yeah.
it's good for my hand, practice for my hand. So yeah.
Yeah. You're right, like a kind of a fine motor skill type of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I see
I
the,
only have problems in my left hand now, so once my right hand gets affected, I don't know if I can still draw.
is your right your
I'm
dominant
Yeah,
hand?
it's
Yeah.
luckily it is, yeah. Luckily it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. So I guess with the Parkinson's, is it predictable to know like where it will go next, or is it
No,
random?
I read like you can I mean it's not really good to search this, but you have like
Well,
different stages in Parkinson's, and
yeah.
then stage one is like the one-sided problems, I think.
Hmm.
So once I get to stage two where my right side will be affected,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do or how but I'm sure I'll work it out, but
Yeah.
it just scares me sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
When I'm
Yeah.
like undressing myself or just doing things for my son, I
And
really
one
have no idea.
side.
I do it one-handed, but I really have no idea
Yeah.
what I'm supposed to do when this hand shuts
Yeah.
down as well. I mean, the
Yeah.
medication helps, of course, but it's not always helping, so
It's not foolproof. Yeah. Yeah.
no.
Well, what is it like being a mom and having a kid and everything with what you're going through? Like, do you find that it almost makes your bonds like stronger? Like, what has that experience been?
I think I've always had like a very strong bond with him, but it did make it more stronger in a way that he sees me progressing a little bit
Mm,
and he lets me know with small things that he is kind of worried about me, which is
yeah.
cute, but also a little bit sad for me
Right.
because he shouldn't have to be worried about that stuff. He should just be a kid and not worry about his mom. But it's kind of sweet the things he does for me, or just when he sees me walking bad, he's just slowing his tempo and just giving me his hand, or yeah, it's the small things, right? I take joy
Yeah.
in that, yeah.
It's amazing
But
how much they
it's
can
hard because
teach.
I think it's harder mentally than it is physically because you just and I know it's not true, but you feel like a bad parent sometimes because I used to play soccer with him. Now I rarely do it.
Yeah.
Just being active with him that much. I try to do it, but I can't overdo it because I'll be out the entire week if I do so.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure it makes it where, your time
yeah,
together doing things is just really, you know, means a lot. And then
yeah.
maybe that's an escape in a way too, getting to just
Yeah, it
be a
is
mom
because
and be with him.
yeah, last weekend we got to play soccer for a little bit again, so And then he takes much more joy in it than he did before because he knows how special it is now.
Yeah.
So
You
that's
can
the
cherish it a little bit more that way.
yeah, I can cherish it more. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, yeah. How old is he now? Is he?
He's turning 8 in
Oh
April. Yeah,
wow. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
So he's starting
yeah.
up all the, does he have like a school like soccer team or anything like that that he plays
Yeah,
with
he
or
goes to soccer in the town here. Yeah, he's
yeah,
very
yeah.
good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's that's really great. I have a nephew who's he's about to turn 4 and I just find that all the
Um,
little things that he does and just
yeah.
they're
4 is
so
such a cute
smart.
age. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
I
They're way
mean,
smarter than you think they
they
are.
can teach us a lot, I think,
A lot,
too.
a lot, a lot. Yeah, and they
Yeah.
they hear everything. What you say, they hear
And then they
everything.
also repeat it too, it seems
Yeah,
like.
they
But
repeat
yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
yeah,
every time, you drop a like ass comment or something like that or something
yeah,
related, you're just like, oh no, I hope they don't pick that up and just start saying it all the time. But
yeah. It
yeah.
could be.
Yeah. 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 But that's what was it like kind of with the diagnosis and everything? Like, have you explained kind of what's involved with that a little bit or how is that
To him, you mean, or
yeah, yeah,
yeah? I haven't really figured that out yet. I mean, he
yeah,
knows for a little bit what's up. I try to tell him like gently,
yeah.
um, but he just, I think he doesn't really understand yet.
And it's hard, I'm sure, to to
Yeah,
describe all of the things that it might involve too.
yeah.
So, it could be
There's
overwhelming, I would
like
think.
a book that someone wrote about Parkinson's, and
Hmm.
it's about a princess who shakes, and it's kind of a book to tell your kids what it's like to
Yeah.
live with this disease, but he didn't get much out of it. I think he just thought it was just another story, just,
Oh, okay.
and I don't really want to traumatize him by
Right,
putting too
right,
much pressure on him to understand, but
right. I
he
mean,
will he will just grow up seeing me live with it, and I think he will
yeah.
just know eventually. So
Do you, I guess in my experience, I think that younger kids, when they do get to spend time with people who have, a diagnosis or a more complicated rare disease, it seems like they learn more like empathy, but they also learn that we're humans too, right? Like that, like it's
yeah,
people go through things like this, and do you think
yeah.
that that helps them maybe growing up or going through life, they understand that maybe a little bit sooner?
I do think it has value in the aspect of growing up faster, maybe,
Mhm. Which is
but
hard.
which is hard, but I think they will appreciate a lot of things more
Yeah.
or cherish a lot of things more.
Learn some life lessons earlier, maybe that
Yeah,
they wouldn't.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And they would feel their feelings more like, and that it's okay to feel
And
those
okay to
things.
express it, right? Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I try to tell my son always. Like, it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to
hmm,
cry about it. Just don't shut it out.
right. Don't let it build up or just absorb
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I think there's always good and bad things. I think with
yeah, there are,
whether
yeah.
you're growing up with a disease or whether you see
Or a
someone.
carefree life because it's
Yeah,
it's always downside to everything, right? So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But it's life lessons. I think being taught always too. But
yeah.
yeah,
It puts your feet on the ground always. So,
yeah, yeah. It
everything
grounds
can
you,
be
huh?
taken away in just a second. So,
Yeah, that
yeah.
that appreciation I think is really like your day to day enjoying, like all the
Yeah,
moments you have because you just don't know
it's a good
when and anybody could be diagnosed at any age, with
yeah, at any
anything.
age,
So
yeah.
it can be taken away in a second.
Yeah.
So
It
yeah,
can turn spiral so fast. So, yeah.
yeah. As far as like, being an advocate for early onset Parkinson's, like do you work with any organizations or do you volunteer or anything like that with
Not really. I just, when I can, volunteer in anything I do, but not really an organization. I would like to. I mean,
yeah.
if I would help,
Mm.
every small thing helps, right? So
Sorry, my dog is in here making noise. One second.
it's fine.
Wow, okay. Maybe we're okay now. She's making noise. She was taking a nap
What kind of
earlier.
dog is it? Is it a big one?
She's a no, she's a little corgi Australian
Oh,
Shepherd
corgi.
cross.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
she likes to
cute.
sleep under my desk during the podcast, but
Oh, yeah, cute.
but yeah. Um, but yeah, I was just curious, and I think by just sharing your message, the way you're doing is
Yeah.
also like advocacy too.
Yeah.
There's
I initially didn't make the page to like advocate or anything. I
yeah,
just put it out there to kind of vent my story a little bit to help
yeah,
me mentally.
process, yeah,
But I think it turned out to what it is now.
hmm
Um, because I think it grew a lot. I only had it for like a year. Um,
yeah,
so yeah, I think I wanna do my part and just help the community and raise the awareness that we need because people are just they don't know a thing about it really.
right, right. And
So yeah.
do you have a certain thing you do that you like most of that, like sharing stories, videos, like
Yeah,
guest
and
podcasts? Like what's your kind of favorite thing about sharing, your message there?
I think I like the podcasts, but I do also like, and I don't, I'm always scared that I'm like a little bit too much of a negative person or
Hmm
emotional person, but I
Yeah,
like to share things when I'm upset because I want people to also know it's okay to just be angry about it or just have
hmm
like days that suck. And I
yeah,
just feel like we can't always be like positive, and I think it's necessary to also put the message out that it is bad sometimes, but it's okay. You just fight through it, and then there's always tomorrow.
yeah, yeah. I think I relate to that so much. The people think that, you know, maybe we should be more positive or something and hide
Yeah,
that side, but it's
yeah,
not. I mean, other
no.
people don't have to like
I
force or
think
hide
the
things.
problem with people is that we, and everyone has this, but we have the urge to always solve problems.
Mhm.
And when someone is talking to you or to me, and we talk about our complaints or things that we're going through, they always want to find a solution. So they kind of suggest things
Yeah,
when really they just should say, yeah, that sucks.
right. Just to accept it as it is,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
because we accept it as it is, and there is
right.
just no solution. So it just blows sometimes, and we just have to acknowledge it. I
Yeah,
think finding solution or suggesting solutions sometimes can feel like a bit overwhelming for me
yeah,
personally. So yeah,
yeah.
I
That's
think,
hard
but
when
I think
people
people mean
assume.
well and people want you to be happy and okay, but it's just,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And I think that
sometimes you just have to sit with it and
you
just,
can't always be positive with it, and
no,
that's okay too,
that's
like
okay
that's
too. Yeah. I mean,
human
yeah,
experience is, not everything is
yeah.
happy, not everything is
No,
sad. It's a mix
like
of
today we give up, but tomorrow we try again. Just,
exactly
and that's life, even without an illness.
true, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the end, we're all going to be disabled in some way or be
Yeah, in some
around it.
way.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But
If not of
that's
old age or some disease. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But no, I really I appreciate, how like honest, like the authentic side of what you're bringing with your content, and your interviews and everything. And I just think I
Yeah.
think it's valuable
But
for people to
I hope
see.
it's not too negative in the way. But I just want to be real and honest and just share my feelings. I am
Absolutely.
a very sensitive person, so I like to express that and just also show them that I'm a fighter, but I appreciate
Absolutely.
sensitivity. It's just a necessity when you're ill, I think.
I think so too, and I think that there's no right or wrong way to do it. I think that
Yeah,
your message and everything is, what kind of what you need it to be as well. So
exactly. Yes. That's
yeah,
what we
I think
strive
that
for.
people shouldn't have expectations or anything on any of
No,
that. So
no, totally not.
yeah,
Everyone should just be themselves, and if it's sensitive, fine. If it's not, fine.
and that works for some people and it doesn't for others, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So that's part of the
I think
human
the
experience.
right people will search for each other and just connect
Find
like
that.
that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that really is, I really appreciate and respect being open and authentic with
Yeah.
everything,
Thanks.
and yeah,
Yeah.
but I definitely appreciate, the time visiting with you, and I I'd like to at some point follow up and, have maybe another conversation in the future. That's something
Yeah,
you're
sure. I'd love
interested
that.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if for anybody listening that wants to follow you, what's the best way? Is Instagram the preferred
I think
connection?
Instagram, yeah, that's the only real way to, or TikTok. I'm on TikTok too, but I
Yeah.
think Instagram is the way to go.